Hello, Year 8. Welcome to Lesson 5 on clothing of the summer term. Okay, you're looking at today la ropa y las comparaciones, which is clothes and comparatives. So you're going to be comparing clothes using comparative structures. So here is a list of the equipment that you will need for your lesson today. You will need the exercise book the school gave you, your knowledge organizer from module 5, which is on class charts, and you can open in a tab on your computer, a pen, a highlighter, and also wordreference.com, the online dictionary, in case you can't find any words in your knowledge organizer. So pause and find that now. Okay, there are a number of short activities you will complete during this lesson. Please listen out for when I ask you to pause the video, and once you've completed the activity, press play to continue. Please also remember to email me if you have any questions at all about the activities in this lesson, and also please send me photos of your fantastic work so you can get achievement points for excellent home learning, and my email address is just there, so pause if you need to again. Just a note about presentation to start with. Remember to put your date in Spanish at the top, and that's on class charts if you want to check it. And then the title, Llevar uniforme es más práctico que llevar ropa casual, which means wearing uniform is more practical than wearing casual clothes. Your objective is there again, objetivo, to be able to compare clothes using comparative structures. And your do now activity is here as well. So for your do now activity, taking 5 minutes, you're going to write today's date and title and complete the do now task, which is to translate the 4 sentences into Spanish. I would like you to write both the English, which is given to you, and the Spanish. Okay, remember, you must choose the correct form of this, which is either este or esta, and also for the plural, these is estos or estas, depending on the gender. Okay, the adjectives must change as well so that they agree with the noun. So pause to do those tasks now and press play to continue and get the answers. Okay, to check your answers, this dress is expensive. Is este vestido es caro? So dress is masculine, so it has to be este for this, and caro for the adjective in the masculine form. These shoes are comfortable. Is estos zapatos son cómodos? Okay, so estos because shoes are masculine plural, son because therefore you have to say are, and cómodos for the masculine plural in the adjective as well. Tres, these boots are old-fashioned. Estas botas son anticuadas. So boots are feminine and plural. So it's estas, these, in the feminine plural form. Son, again, because it's are. Anticuadas is the adjective old-fashioned in the feminine plural form. Y finalmente, this shirt is ugly. Esta camisa es fea. So shirt is feminine, so it's esta for this and fea for ugly in the feminine form of the adjective. Okay, pause now, check your work, and then press play to do activity 1. Well done, Year 8.
Okay, so for activity 1, I'm going to explain to you how comparative structures work in Spanish. There are 3 parts to this explanation, part A, part B, and part C. When we compare 2 things, we use grammatical structures called comparatives, comparaciones. Let's have a look at how we would say that something is more something than something else. So in English, you would say more, followed by the adjective, followed by than. For example, more comfortable than. In Spanish, the equivalent of that, más, adjective, que, for example, más cómodo que. So the adjective is in the middle of the más and the que. Example sentence. Esta sudadera es más cómoda que este vestido. This sweatshirt is more comfortable than this dress. As you can see there, the adjective has to agree with the first noun in the sentence. So this adjective cómoda is agreeing with sudadera, feminine and singular form, cómoda. So the adjective is agreeing with the first noun in the sentence. Let's have a look at another example. Estos zapatos son más cómodos que estas sandalias. These shoes are more comfortable than these sandals. Again, the adjective here needs to be in masculine and plural because zapatos is masculine and plural. Therefore, it has to agree with zapatos. Also, I've used son, not s, because I've said these shoes, therefore I need they are. Let's move on in just a minute, but before we move on to part B, I would like you to look at this. To say cheaper, uglier, prettier, in Spanish, you have to say more cheap, more ugly, more pretty, because there is no equivalent of the suffix, like in English, okay? So you have to say more cheap, more ugly, more pretty. Please pause this video now to copy everything you can see in this box into your books. Feel free to highlight like I have as well. Okay, so part B, let's have a look at how we would say in English, less something than. So if you want to say less something than, you say less plus the adjective plus than. For example, less ugly than. How would we say this in Spanish? You would say menos, adjective, plus que. For example, menos feo que. Example sentence 1. Esta camiseta es menos fea que este jersey, which means this t-shirt is less ugly than this jumper. Like I mentioned previously, this adjective here needs to agree with the first noun, feminine and singular, because camiseta is feminine and singular. Example number 2. Estas sandalias son menos feas que estos zapatos, which means these sandals are less ugly than these shoes. Okay, and here, feas needs to be in the feminine and plural form because the noun, the first noun in the sentence, sandalias, is feminine and plural. Okay, so feminine and plural adjective there. Apologies for my arrows, year 8. I'm not the best at this. Just please bear with me. And remember, as I keep saying, that in this case, and when we use más que, the adjective has to always agree with the noun it describes, the first noun in the sentence. Please pause this video now and copy part B into your book as well. Everything you can see in the book. Sorry, in the box. Okay, so let's move to part C of the comparative structures explanation. It is important to understand something, okay? Now, you know that in Spanish structures, there's always going to be some form of exception, okay? It's important here to understand that when using the infinitive of a verb, in this case, our infinitive of the verb is to wear, llevar, okay? When using the infinitive of the verb at the start of your sentence, there is no article before the noun, and the adjective doesn't need to agree, so it always remains in the masculine singular form. Let's look at an example. Llevar ropa casual es menos incómodo que llevar uniforme, which means wearing casual clothing is less uncomfortable than wearing uniform. Now you can see here, I've got the infinitive llevar, which means my adjective between the menos and the que must remain in its masculine and singular form. It does not need to agree with ropa, casual. It stays in its masculine and feminine form because I've used llevar at the start of my sentence. Also, there is no article here before ropa. There is no article. Let's look at another example. Llevar zapatillas de deporte para ir al colegio es más cómodo que llevar zapatos, which means wearing trainers to go to school is more comfortable than wearing shoes. Again, because I've used llevar at the start of my sentence, the adjective cómodo does not need to agree with zapatillas de deporte. It stays masculine and singular. And again, there is no article before the noun zapatillas de deporte. Please pause this video now to copy everything you can see for part C, everything you can see in this box into your books, and feel free to highlight like I have if you have highlighters. Okay, so for this next activity, you're going to spend approximately 10 minutes translating these Spanish sentences into English. I would like you to write the Spanish and the English into your books. And remember, you don't translate literally, so the English has to make sense. We're going to do the first one together. Llevar uniforme es más práctico que llevar vaqueros, which means wearing uniform is more practical than wearing jeans. Okay, please pause this video and complete this activity. Okay, so assuming you've finished, let's go over the answers. Número 2. Llevar camisa es menos cómodo que llevar camiseta. Wearing a shirt is less comfortable than wearing a t-shirt. Now, as you can see, I've underlined the English for a in this sentence because even if in Spanish you have no article, in English you need to have the article, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Número 3. Llevar vaqueros es menos elegante que llevar uniforme. Wearing jeans is less elegant than wearing uniform. Número 4. Esta falda es más fea que este vestido. This skirt is uglier, more ugly than this dress. And número 5, son menos anticuados que estos vaqueros. These trousers are less old-fashioned than these jeans. And finally, número 6, estas zapatillas de deporte son más caras que estas sandalias. These trainers are more expensive than these sandals. Okay, for this next activity, you're now going to translate from English into Spanish, putting all of the grammar you've learnt today into practice. Okay, so the key points to remember when doing these translations is this. For 1 and 2, the adjectives does not need to agree with any noun in the sentence. However, for 3, 4 and 5, the adjective must agree with the first noun in the sentence. Remember, no article is required for noun, and be careful to choose s and son correctly. So let's do the first one as an example. Wearing. Wearing sandals is more comfortable than wearing shoes. Now, wearing means I need my infinitive of the verb. So, llevar sandalias es más cómodo que llevar zapatos. I would like you to use any of the grammatical notes that you've made in your book to help you with this. Please write the English and the Spanish in your book. Pause this video now to complete these 5 translations. Okay, assuming you've finished, let's go over the answers. So we're going to go over from number 2 because the first one we did as an example. Wearing boots is prettier or more pretty than wearing trainers. Llevar botas es más bonito que llevar zapatillas de deporte. Now, because I've used llevar, the infinitive of the verb, bonito does not need to agree with botas. It stays masculine and singular. Now, 3, 4 and 5, everything must agree. So this cap, number 3, is more expensive than this sweatshirt. Esta gorra es más cara, because gorra is feminine singular, que esta sudadera. Number 4, this dress is less old-fashioned than this skirt. Este vestido es menos anticuado que esta falda. Anticuado stays in masculine singular form because vestido is masculine singular. And finally, número 5, these jeans are less comfortable than this t-shirt. Estos vaqueros son menos cómodos que esta camiseta. Now you can see that vaqueros is masculine and plural, so I'm saying they are, so it needs to be son, not es. And then the adjective cómodos needs to be in its masculine and plural form because vaqueros is masculine and plural. Okay, so we've come to the we've come to the end of today's lesson. I just want to say well done and keep up the excellent work. I hope you are enjoying your video lessons. And if anyone hasn't told you yet today just how absolutely, positively, incredibly amazing you are, I am, because you're all doing an amazing job. So that's a little message from me there. So I'm now going to leave you with a quick message. Take care and stay safe. Hasta luego.